We have Yegor Aushev from Cyber Unit talking about the cybersecurity and business strategy. Yegor, welcome. The floor is
Hi, Igor.
yours.
Hi, Igor. Nice to meet you. Hello, everyone. So I'm going to show you a couple of slides. Let me share my screen. Can you see my screen now?
Yeah, all good.
Okay, so hello, everyone. My name is Yegor Aushev, and I'm currently in the United Arab Emirates in Dubai. We are preparing for GSEC conference. And by the way, if somebody is going to visit our the GSEC biggest conference, please go to our booth. We'll be happy to see you. So I'm the CEO of Cyber Unit, and we actually guide the organization to digital innovation and improvements of performance using strategy in cybersecurity. So we have a high-skilled team, and we help to protect critical national infrastructure and critical data and assets for enterprises. We also train people, and our ex-students now protect the office of the President of Ukraine 24/7. We also work with national banks, ministries of finances, and so on. We serve world's leading organization and government, including Cisco, CRDF Global, National Council of Defense of Ukraine. And we believe that cybersecurity is not just like one-time solution, but this is like more. It should be a part of business strategy. So cyber strategy should be a part of business strategy, actually. So about Cyber Unit technologies, we doing cybersecurity more than 10 years. We have now offices in United Arab Emirates, Korea, Estonia, and Ukraine. We are certified ISO company. We have more than 100 clients, around 15 or 16 now already government organization in different countries. We train national cyber police specialists in different countries. And our focus is on critical infrastructure protection, because it's a big issue now. So just like a short example, like fast example for you, we had a look to the African region recently, and what we see that there are a lot of compromised domains, and their credentials are also compromised. For example, in Kenya, it was just a brief overview, and we saw in Kenya around 2,000 domains in their credentials. In Rwanda, it's more than 200 domains. In Ethiopia, around 150 domains were compromised, and in Uganda, more than 500 domains. And we found this information in darknet. We have special our own technology which allows us to monitor darknet, different marketplaces for criminals, and we see actually how these guys can so like some criminals like doing this work for another criminals. But it's not only the case for it's not only the case for Africa. We see the same situation actually. We see the same situation in all over the world. So every year, the number of hackers attack growing every year. And it's not only about Africa, as I told already. So it's in Europe, in the USA, in Asia. So hackers attack, number of hackers attack growing fast. Approximately 30,000 per day hackers, successful hackers attack we see every day. And so what is actually the role of cybersecurity in the strategy? So our main idea is that you cannot just anymore, nobody can avoid cybersecurity. Even if you didn't pay enough attention to cybersecurity before, so you should do it now, because otherwise a company will not be competitive in the future. So what is the cost and risk of data breaches in a digital world? It's of course, number one, it's a theft, loss of critical data. And number two, it's downtown of your organization after hackers attack. Number three, it's a loss of trust among partners, clients, and even your employees. And number four is cost to remediate system and core business processes. So, like everybody should recognize now that cybersecurity is a part of business strategy, and it's up to you when you start like to pay attention to cybersecurity in your business. Sorry. Yeah, so on this picture you can see that like now, like to order some hacking, like some hackers attack, it's so easy like to buy some, I don't know, some burger in fast food or in restaurants. So it's everyone can order this hackers attack in internet from like from $10 to a couple of $1000s, but it's not an issue now. So it's very easy to order hacker attacks. So we need to pay attention and understand that we need like to be well protected for this reason. Some mistakes of, yeah. And and what we see at the same time, the cost goes down and complexity is going up. So more and more different vectors of attack appearing every day, and the price for these attacks is going down. So that means that we will have more and more attacks in the future, and we need to pay attention to our security. So this is example just for credit bureau Equifax. It's US based credit bureau, and they got data breach a couple of years ago, and they lost almost 35% of their company price. So they lost 6 billion USD or 6 billion US dollars after data breach, and even after 7 years, they still suffered 3 billion loss after rebound. So, and the average cost of data breach is around $4 million. And time to identify data breach is around 280 days. And the average size of data breach is around 25,000 records. So it's happening every day. And of course, it's better to think about security in advance before you have been hacked. And several factors are driving increased cyber risk for enterprises. So number one, now we see now that we live in the COVID era, yeah, and a lot of budget constraints and cuts during COVID, and companies spend less money for security because the whole economical process is going down. And this is good actually for hackers because everybody working remotely now, and but the budget become less, so it's easy to hack the company. So number two, it's usage of third-party vendors. You never can be like, if you use the vendors that you don't know really if they pay attention to cybersecurity. So it could be one more vector attack to your company. So they can just find some vulnerability in third-party vendor and then attack your company. Number three, it's increasing number of type of devices. It's IoT, OT devices, smart, so like we have smart cars, smart watches, everything. And for hackers, it's easy to hack something around you in order to receive some information. Number four, it's increased exposure of critical data. Adoption of cloud and other digital systems. So it's now so easy to use cloud technologies and transform your company in order to be more competitive and more fast. But please remember that you should do it carefully and pay attention to security when you make some digital transformation in your company. And attackers and hackers, the number of hackers like growing every year, and they like become better and better. a specialist, and we need to be ready to be protected from these hackers. So companies are grappling with a titanic problem. So actually, technology, people, processes, and organizations are four main focuses of each company. And if you pay attention only to technology or only to processes, but forget about your, for example, employees, if you don't make any trainings for your employees, you will have a lot of problems, as almost 70% of each data breaches are going because of the people mistake. It could be, so it's very important to pay attention to all these four components in order to be well protected. And evaluate impact and occurrence of risk is number one is service disruption, number two is data leakage, number three cyber fraud, and number four is human error risk. And again, human error risk is like most popular problem at the moment in the whole world. So what you should understand every manager and every company. It doesn't actually matter is a small company or medium or enterprise. So every manager or CEO, C-level guy should understand what is the most critical data in your company, where it's located, who are the stakeholders, what impact does it have on business in cases of breaches, and what kind of monitoring or governance is there to make sure that critical assets are safe and operational. So you need to understand what is critical and start with protection of your company from this point. Yes, so this is actually like everything that I wanted to tell you about cybersecurity. Pay attention to cybersecurity, even if you didn't do it before. It's very important, like to start to do right now, and then you become more competitive than a company which doesn't who doesn't pay enough attention. Thank you for your time, and I'm ready to answer some questions if you have some.
Thank you so much, Yegor. There's one question, whether we can share the presentation of the speakers after the webinar.
Sure.
Do you think you can share yours?
Of course, yeah.
Okay, cool. But I would say that generally speaking, for not all the speakers will be able to do it, but just we will confirm with the speakers and upload the presentations and share this with you after the event, after in the follow-up. Are there any questions? Is there any questions to Yegor? And feel free to type them or just unmute yourself, and we can get going. Okay, Yegor, thank you so much for being with us, and thanks for sharing the insights about the cybersecurity in general and how this should be implemented in the business strategy of every single company from